Head out about 10 miles or so from the Capitol Mall, and you will arrive here at Northwest Stadium, just outside of Washington, D.C. Tonight, we've got a good NFC matchup in store, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Washington Commanders. Happy to be on hand. I'm Brandon Gaudin with Charles Davis. And before we kick, partner, your keys to the game, please.
Well, my keys are on the defensive side of the ball for both teams. And the big one, making sure you avoid giving up the big play. These safeties are going to get tested all game long. Their job, keep the ball in front of them, tackle people, make them run extra plays in order to try and score.
Set to go now on a beautiful sunny afternoon. And off we go in our nation's capital. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick in the 2019 draft from Oklahoma. It's Kyler Murray.
And when you have a guy like Kyler Murray under center, it not only opens up your playbook, it allows you to draw up even more plays because he's among the best dual-threat quarterbacks in the league and a true playmaker. If flushed out of the pocket, he might even be more dangerous. The next step for him, being able to throw on rhythm and deliver from the pocket.
They'll run. This is Jordan Mason. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
Finds his man. There's Jordan Addison. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Mason going to get it on 1st down. Oh, he shifts past him. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Play action. Now it's Murray. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a 1st down.
To throw is Murray. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
So from the 17, here's 2nd and 7. On play action, it's Murray. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. That's Jerome with a sack that time.
We'll talk about a rhythm breaker right there. They've been moving the ball well. Drive it started beautifully. That one's going to hurt.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now Murray. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a 1st.
Oh, man. Just when the D thought they had the answer for him, he went and changed the question. Surprises him by taking off himself. He's able to set up his offense pretty with a 1st and goal.
he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown.
Minnesota.
Kyler Murray, an 8-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings are on the board first here this afternoon. Solid finish to the opening drive. And look, when you get down around the goal line, you have to account for his legs. We saw it right there.
Yeah, that's the added dimension to the offense, isn't it? Remember what the offensive line coach told us earlier this week? I told my guys, he's going to run it. We have to make sure he stays protected and give him an opportunity.
Extra point attempt to follow here.
Extra point.
He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead.
Makes the score Vikings 7.
So that drive goes 8 plays. And the play that polished it off was the touchdown run by Kyler Murray. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. So out comes the Washington offense as they get their first shot. And they will be let out by their 6'4" quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
They'll get that one out quickly to Brown. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave them with a second and just a few inches left. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
That one 28 yards on the ground.
And a Washington first down. First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Boy, the offensive line there, that was a thing of beauty to watch them block.
I love how you give a little appreciation for those big guys up front, and well-deserved. But how about the execution behind them? You can see the hours of practice that have gone into it. Great pocket by the running back. Quarterback puts it right in the perfect spot. Great mesh point by them. The timing on point. The run even better. And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
On a delay of game there, they could not get the playoff in time.
Frustrating for the head coach, frustrating for the offense. Sometimes you have to get the play call in a little bit quicker.
Of course, that flag accepted, and it backs the ball up 5 yards.
Still second down.
Doesn't look to be any confusion here as they come up now on a 2nd and 6 following the delay of game. To throw is Daniels. He'll dump this one off here to White.
Daniels pass, complete to Rashad White. A gain of 2 on the play, brings up 3rd and 4.
This now a 3rd and 4. To the air goes Daniels. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, On offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. The handoff to Ford up the middle. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Now Daniel's going to keep it. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
On the ground, it's Ford. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Blake Cashman on the tackle. That's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 3.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3. Daniels looking to throw. He'll try to pick it up himself, and he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Jaden Daniels, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Commanders respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own.
He didn't originally want to run, but he didn't see anything in the passing game, so he scrambled, and wouldn't you know it, he scores a touchdown anyway. It's awfully nice to have a quarterback who can make things happen with his legs.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. A 10-play drive that time. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Starting the drive with Mason on the ground. Now he's loose at the 40. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. 70 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. And you talk about great blocking up front. I don't think he was even touched, not a finger on him, until he was brought down to the ground.
I think we heard the whoosh as he went by, didn't we? Right through the gap. No one there, as you outlined. No one touched him at all. A free sprint into the secondary.
Yeah, that's what you call breaking free right there. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
Out of the gun, here's Murray. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 there on the sack, and that makes things tougher here on 3rd and goal.
When you're this close to the goal line, you've got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. From the gun, Murray. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. The Commanders' defense holds, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
Will Riker it on for the field goal. A 22-yard attempt.
And his kick here is good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a bead on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
Now Daniels. Short throw taken in by Okonkwo. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Here's 3rd and 9. Throwing now is Daniels. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. It will be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 30 yards there, and of course the first down as well.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 41. He rifles one, and it's going to be intercepted. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And out now come the Vikings. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
After the turnover, here's Murray. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. This is caught at the 20. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf. A big play there for Minnesota. 47 yards.
A gain of 47 yards. First down.
10-7 our score after one right here on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Straight ahead, here's Mason. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Here's a 2nd and 8. On the carry, this is Scott. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Xavier Scott, 15 yards, as his guys are able to extend their lead. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
Now the try here for the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it was finished by the touchdown run from the 15. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. And the Washington offense heading out. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Motion,
A quick throw here out to Brown. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. A few moving pieces on that play because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield. If you're more than a yard downfield, it's illegal to throw the football at that point. But they held their ground, held their spot, and turned it into a nice game. He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
2nd and 5. Play action. Now it's Daniels. Now he's going to step up and run. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
It's a gain of 29. And a Washington first down. 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game, and that continued with that first down run.
Now Daniel's going to give it up on the touch pass. And they string that play out nicely. He stopped before he can turn upfield. No gain, 2nd down.
No gain on the play.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Here's Daniels. Yet again, it's McLaurin. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
And this offense on 3rd down today, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 4. Now Daniel's going to keep it. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Jaden Daniels with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Commanders are back within a score.
Hey, you're down on the scoreboard, but now your offense is in close, and this is where, as a quarterback, you say, I've got to make a play here. Doesn't matter whether it's a pinpoint throw or a scramble like this one. He takes matters into his own hands and delivers a touchdown run.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14.
Commanders 14.
Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Vikings offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And he's been a tough man to stop in this first half. He's putting up some big numbers already, and we have yet to reach halftime. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now they have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
And his throw is going to be incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Shotgun now for Murray. He'll try and do this himself. Room here to run. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
No shortage of impressive moments from him thus far. Now he's halfway to the century mark, and we're still in the first half. There's been no answer for his running ability so far by the defense. I can't wait to see what adjustments they'll have to make during the halftime break.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 82 yards for him on the ground so far tonight, as he has been terrific in this first half.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium, because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
Vikings, first down. First and 10 at the 17-yard
Now that's a big-time run. Lightning in a bottle, forget it. He exploded out of the bottle for that type of a pickup.
So from the 17 now, here's a first and 10. And they'll go again with Mason. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Now Scott. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A 5-yard gain there makes it first and goal.
That solid gainer will put them on the doorstep of the end zone. More importantly, it gives them a fresh set of downs. Nice work right there.
On the give, it's Mason. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
It's now 3rd and goal.
Throwing now is Murray. On the screen, this is Mason. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Jordan Mason from 4 yards out. And they are able to add on to their advantage.
That's one of those long drives where not only do you score, but you really tire out the defense, too.
That's a great point, because now they've been on the field for a long time. Them going to the bench, trying to make adjustments, trying to figure things out, but they'll do so fatigued.
Now the try here for the point after. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Makes the score Vikings.
So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So out comes Washington's offense to take over. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
And that's going to be caught downfield by Brown. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. That one goes for 24 yards.
First down.
Well, this hasn't really been a first half to remember on either side of the ball, but I think this kind of makes this an important drive. You'd love to get this back to a one-score game if you can, and that's good work there to get some yardage here and pick up the first down.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
2nd and 10. They go play action. Daniels. Pass to Brown. He's got it on the crossing route. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 39. Well, he's a diminutive receiver, Charles. Not a ton of size, but still able to bring that in against double coverage.
I think that's a great job by him of understanding angles, because you mentioned his size. He's not going to go over the top of someone or body someone out of the way. He's got to make sure he creates enough space for himself by getting people into the wrong spot on defense, moving them with his body, and then showing his numbers to the quarterback to be open. You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
This is Ford. And he's going to be stopped just short of the first down marker at the Vikings 31. 41 yards rushing for him now to this point.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their #1 goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that, and that really chips away at your confidence.
Again, they turn to Ford. And he's going to have a Commanders first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
3 yards. That's another Washington first down.
But it wasn't a goal line situation, but how about the goal line formation on 3rd and short? They went in and went heavy. No surprise on who was going to get the football. How about the power exhibited there?
Yeah, that was just put a hat on a hat, drive forward. Nice job to pick it up.
Off the play fake, Daniels. This is caught. It's Brown. And he takes it in for a Commanders touchdown. De'Ami Brown, 27 yards. And the Commanders have cut it back within a score.
These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes. That's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far and fun to watch.
The extra point splits the uprights. And that cuts the lead to 3, 24-21.
Commanders 21.
Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. Now that should give him a spark. He's across the 40 to the 43. Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
And the Vikings first down.
Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
They asked him to take charge and get them to a spot where they could at least attempt to kick before the half, and he does just that. Didn't trust what he saw downfield, so he took it upon himself to get them into field goal range using his legs. That's coming through with a play they needed in a big spot.
Here's Murray. Now he'll tuck it, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Jerome Payne, his second sack of the night. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
The line to gain is the 33 on third down. Here's Murray. Now he's going to step up and run. Good move at the 30. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 26. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
And the Vikings first down.
He's been making himself a weapon as a runner, and the results, they've been welcomed by his offense. My question is about the defense we're watching right now, partner. Even after he got him with a scramble earlier this drive, they still aren't devoting enough attention to him. I would expect that after that carry, they'll do a much better job going forward, spying on him on passing downs.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Now a 2nd and 2. Murray now to throw. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. And the Vikings are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play.
Goal at the 4-yard line.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. To throw, it's Murray. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Out of the end zone.
Great coverage down in the end zone. He's scanning the field, looking. No one ever came open. So in the end, he makes the best decision and just fires it over the end line.
So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And this one is right through. And that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no wind. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission. He's going deep for Brown. And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete. So halftime straight ahead. Let's get you down to the Sunshine State and Scott Hansen with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thank you. Welcome in, everyone. Scott Hansen here on the 5th Floor Studios. A little abridged version of the halftime report here, as both defensive coordinators might be having speaks with their players. That begs the question, can any defense get a stop in the second half? To find out, let's go back out to the stadium and join our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Scott, thanks a bunch. And we'll see which team's adjustments are going to pay dividends here as we are just about ready for the start of the second half. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the third quarter. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Throwing to start the drive, Daniels. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Well, this has certainly turned into a showcase game for what he can do on the ground, because they're just continuing to give him chances to run it, and he's earning every additional carry by putting up positive yardage on each run.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1.
Looking to throw. Daniels.
A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Working out of the gun, Daniels got his man, and that's the rookie 4th-round pick. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
They run with 4. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's exactly what offenses try to avoid by using motion and throwing different formations up. They hate when he can draw a bead on the play, get a running start, and make a big play behind the line of scrimmage as he did just there.
2nd and 11. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Daniels from the gun on 3rd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Here's Tressway now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, One guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now.
153 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
They'll run again with Mason. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Now we're at the 41, 2nd and 9.
Play action. Now it's Murray.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. Now Murray. And that is incomplete.
Intended for Justin Jefferson.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Here's Johnny Hacker now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon.
Here's Lane. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. A gain of 8 there on the play. And it'll be 2nd and a couple.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 34-yard line.
They'll try the left side. Ford. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have a Commander's 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Washington 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
This will be caught once again by Brown. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that will bring up 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 48-yard line.
To the air goes Daniels. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 37. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out.
A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down.
It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball, but the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
No gain on the play.
You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball is moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Following the play here, now we've got an injury. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
So they're coming up here on the 9th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and goal.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Jonathan Greenard running in to pick up the sack. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away from pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
Now on comes the Washington field goal unit. This just 32 yards officially from the right hash. And his kick is good. And that will bring the deficit back down to 3.
So give him 3 on that drive. You know, normally you'd say, we'll take it, but the way points have been flying around, it feels like a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah, you just have to wonder, are field goals going to be enough? Because as you pointed out, the way touchdowns have been scored, does kicking a field goal actually put you at a disadvantage the rest of the way?
Now Brown, after the made field goal, gets set for the kickoff.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead. Chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts.
Looking to put a drive together. The drive begins with Mason. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. A member of the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Murray going to throw. Open man, that's Felton. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. So turnovers, Charles, you figure will be key in the second half, and that's a big giveaway there.
Yeah, and as you and I both know, coaches are always preaching ball security, and none more often than right here in the second half of a tight football game. Now you've got to believe what the coaches are saying and take care of that football.
Another drive coming up for this Washington offense. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. So they recover their own fumble. Now they face 3rd and short. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
Fair catch called for and made, but now we'll have to see about the penalty.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
Trailing here in the second half, went for the aggressive play, got a little too aggressive.
You've got to know when to pull up, or if you're going to go for it, how to take your body across a punter's body and not into him. Not a good play at all.
Running left, Mason. Gets through, and now an opening. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. The Commanders' offense and Jaden Daniels getting set for this next possession. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas.
Yeah, a little tired, and if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now by what he's doing. But he's elated because he knows what he's doing is helping his team win the game right now. Making some big-time plays, getting into the offense's backfield and spilling everything. I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
And this is a rarity in the NFL, a 100-yard game on the ground for a quarterback. Even as those passers get more athletic and mobile, we only see about 5 of these a season. It takes a special set of circumstances for it to happen, and of course, a special player.
He's got White here. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
First down, here's White. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
This has been an up-and-down, back-and-forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Daniels looking to throw. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. This offense so far on third down, can't fault these numbers. 7 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Now Daniels going to keep it.
And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that earns him a fresh set of downs.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
Play action, now it's Daniels.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete.
Touchdown, Washington. Jerome Ford
From a yard out.
And the Commanders have taken a fourth quarter lead. Well, we know he has decent hands out of the backfield. That's the first time, Charles, they've targeted him in the passing game, and it pays dividends.
And I love the design, too, because they kept him in the backfield, made the defense think run first before they swung him out of there. And you're right, with his hands, they might want to throw it to him just a little bit more.
The try here for the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. That time a 9-play drive.
And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown.
Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Vikings offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. The pressure is on now. They're being shut out here in the second half after a decent first half offensively. And they need their best drive of the game right here.
That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
21 yards. And the Vikings first down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Right back to Mason. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. It's another first down as this time they get an even 20.
That's another Vikings first down. First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Mason on the draw. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty, but when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
To throw is Murray. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as well.
I can assure you, setting up a screen is much more difficult than it appears. It requires excellent timing from everyone on the offense, and a defense's #1 goal is to throw that timing off.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And that is no good. Oh, he missed it just wide of the upright, and that will keep this a 4-point game.
That was an ugly-looking kick, and the snap, largely to blame. These special teams operations are relying on everyone being on the same page, so even the slightest hiccup can lead to some missed kicks, and that's exactly what we saw here.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they enjoy this fourth quarter lead, starting out 1st and 10 now following the missed field goal.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
From the 48-yard line, here's second down and 5.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
3rd and 3. Here's Daniels. Oh, he had him. He was was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line.
Minnesota now ready for their next possession. Their defense accomplished step 1 of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a 4th quarter lead.
Looking to put a drive together. Now Murray off play action. He's going to air one out. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
Now a 2nd and 10. They'll hand it to Mason.
And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Throwing now is Murray.
They'll try and do this himself.
And they'll get him down here at the 23. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting this sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. Here's Johnny Hecker now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return.
And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. The Commanders' offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end, trying to come up with ways to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those opportunities into big plays. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
At the 33-yard line.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
Throwing now is Daniels. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Intended for
De'Ami Brown, the intended receiver.
And now it's 2nd down.
There on the coverage.
Now Daniels. Now he'll tuck this and run.
And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the 1st down marker. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
Partner, even I can figure out who deserves the lion's share of credit for their lead right now because he has been terrific in a dual threat role, really chewing up yardage and getting them points with his legs. Simply put, that defense has had no way of stopping him, and that's why his side is on top.
And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
1st and 10.
These are running back numbers that he's accumulating right now. Received double-digit carries and has rewarded them by breaking the century mark in rushing, in addition to what he's done through the air. definitely MVP caliber football we're witnessing.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Throw left side complete. That's Brown. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal.
And that's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in and then made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you want to give him a little extra for the effort. But instead, he sets his guys up in excellent shape with a 1st and goal.
And he will take it in. Touchdown, Commanders. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Commanders will add to their 4th quarter lead. And that's certainly an important touchdown there. It makes this a 2-score game.
But as we've seen, no lead is safe in this one with the way these two offenses have lit up the scoreboard. I would imagine that on their sidelines, they're both yelling at their defenses, hey, you want to get involved here? One big play from you, that could win the game for us.
Extra point forthcoming. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40.
And now out comes Minnesota.
And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit.
Looking to put a drive together.
They'll start with a run by Mason.
And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
From the 46, here's 2nd and 3.
On the ground again, it's Mason. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Murray now. And this is going to be incomplete.
I wonder, Brandon, I just wonder, you think maybe he was worried about where he was on the field? Was he far enough? Was he close enough to the first down sticks?
Absolutely. He was right there by him, and I think he was thinking first down before he caught that football.
Yeah, got to catch it first, because if you don't catch it, there's no chance of picking up a first down.
Now Murray's got to have this one. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
I don't know about you, but can you just almost feel the relief that's going through this stadium? He picked up that first down. Without it, this game is over.
And when he took off, it was almost like, oh, no, this might be it, but found a way to pick up the first.
Mason going to get it on first down.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 16 yards, a little deja vu from the previous play where they got 16.
But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And he's going to go down, sacked right around the 17.
Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Here's Murray. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Murray now, third and goal.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30.
A nightmare on third and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
He's going to loft it deep right sideline.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. The Washington offense back out there. A real chance for them to salt this game away after that turnover on downs, holding a 2-score lead in the fourth quarter.
Looking to put a drive together.
They will start this drive with 4. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down.
And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
Second and 7, operating from the 34. Four yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a third down. And his defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. And the Vikings are going to beef up their secondary here. 6 DBs on third. To throw is Daniels. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. And now here comes the third of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up first and 10 at the 44-yard line. The handoff to Ford up the middle. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Back to throw. Daniels.
And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Got him in. It's Brown. And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. So all eyes on this Vikings offense. Down by 11, a minute 12 to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. Here's Murray. Throw left side, complete to Scott.
And good yardage there on 1st down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
Now 2nd and 4. Murray now to throw. Completes this to Jefferson.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
They absolutely had to take some chances downfield trailing here in the 4th quarter.
So why not go 4 verticals, send the guys downfield, say make a play.
And that's one of the favored routes of offensive coordinators. You know why? Because receivers can be open at any point running that route.
To throw, it's Murray. Short throw caught by the tight end, Oliver. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now this airmail to the sideline. It's incomplete, and there don't appear to be any flags forthcoming. Maybe a little fortunate there. It's 3rd down. Now Murray. And that one too wide and incomplete.
And let's face it, this defense has had its share of struggles all game long, and they know that they can put it all behind them if they defend well here in the 2-minute drill. Excellent coverage right there to force the incompletion.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. They're going for it. Hits Murray. One last shot at the end zone.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that will force a turnover on downs. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
Well, that second half, Charles, a little bit different from the first. Not only did we have the lead change after intermission, but they were able to pitch the shutout in the second half and get an impressive victory.
And what's the old expression? That's not quite how I saw it playing out in my head. You know they didn't expect this at all. As you mentioned, went into the half with the lead. Losing the game is one thing. Getting shut out in the second half, that's a surprise.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
The Commanders pick up the victory as we say so long from our nation's capital.